Reselling is hard. It's not a passive income, and it requires constant attention if you want to make it work, especially as a full-time job. A couple months ago, I overheard two resellers talking at my local thrift store. The one guy said to the other, "I'm not worried, he will not last long." No, they were not talking about me, but rather a new kid that just showed up to the thrift store that morning. He got there early and waited in line like the rest of us. As soon as the thrift store opened, he ran around the thrift store trying to find items to resell online. He stood out in the store because he was new, but what stood out to me was that he had excitement and hope. The reseller that made that comment about him not lasting long has been reselling for over 20 years. He's seen a lot of people come and go, and he was absolutely correct. This kid showed up every day for about 2 months, and then all of a sudden he was gone, and I haven't seen him since. Now maybe he found a better opportunity, or maybe this was just something he was doing for fun on the side. However, from my experience, what probably happened was burnout. He realized how hard it was to actually resell things online. He realized how much work it took and how much time commitment it would take for the little amount of reward that we get as resellers. And if I'm being honest, I feel this way occasionally as well. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. If you've ever struggled with staying in reselling, thought about quitting, or have a hard time finding the motivation to keep moving forward, this video is for you. Dear eBay, I love you, but I also hate you. You've given me the freedom to leave my job. You've helped me build a business on my own terms, but you've also pushed me to the edge more times than I can count. This business, this reselling life, it's exhausting. You're only as good as your last flip. Yesterday's big thrift haul means nothing if today you come up empty. I have to chase down new inventory every day, compete with other resellers, and dig through overpriced junk just to find one gem. Thrift stores see us as the enemy. Yard sales are not much better. Everyone has Google Lens and thinks their broken blender is a gold mine. It's non-stop. Offers, returns, questions at all hours. If I ignore a message, I risk a return or nasty feedback. So I check my phone constantly, trying to stay one step ahead of the algorithm or the next scammer. You've made it so I never truly clock out. Even when I'm not working, I'm watching reselling videos, checking comps, or scrolling Facebook Marketplace just in case that one crazy deal shows up. And don't get me started on how customers treat us. We're seen as the greedy middleman, not problem solvers. People think we're hoarding baby formula or concert tickets for a profit. We get blamed, scammed, and insulted, and most of the time, you don't have our back. In fact, most of the time, you reward the scammers and punish the sellers. Our feedback, our history on the platform means nothing to the call center rep that barely understands the problem I need help with. To you, eBay, we are just another number. If we burn out, someone new will take our place. Everything is more expensive. eBay fees are increasing, thrift stores are pricing us out, and do not get me started with shipping. Customers think we are Amazon and shipping should be free and the item should be delivered the same day. When you look at what resellers have built, it's basically nothing. Sure, we say it's a business, but the customers are not ours. Our inventory is only as good as the platform we're on. And if we take a break, we are thrown to the back of the algorithm line again. But here's the thing, I haven't quit, and I won't quit just because it's hard. Because despite the burnout, despite the headaches, I love this life. I love the hunt, I love the freedom, I love finding something others passed over and giving it a second chance. I love shipping something new to a tiny town I've never heard of or a new country and dropping a pin on my sales map. I love talking to strangers at yard sales and hearing their stories. I love not asking anyone permission to take time off. I love being able to go for a hike on a Tuesday morning just because I can. I still remember when I was at my 9 to 5 being told on Friday afternoons that I would have to work on a Saturday. And when I pushed back, my boss asked me, "What's more important to you?" I told him, "You don't want to know the answer to that." And that was the moment I knew I needed out. I needed to be able to prioritize my life the way I see fit. And reselling has given me that. Simple things, like having open availability for doctor's appointments, or even just taking an afternoon off because the weather is nice. This business gave me a way out, and I protect that fiercely. I am literally living my dream from a few years ago, but even the best jobs have burnout. So I build in breaks, I take time off, I walk away when I need to, I keep a draft bank ready for when I don't feel like listing. I make my workspace a place I actually want to be, a good chair, a fun drink, music I enjoy. I make the decisions here. No dress code or HR department required. Burnout doesn't mean I failed. It just means I need to reset. Whether it's a walk, a vacation, or deleting the app for a weekend, those little resets keep me in the game. Because that's what it's all about, a long game. And you can't win if you're not in it. Reselling can take over your life if you let it. It's easy to convince yourself that you have to be working 24/7 to stay competitive, to keep the algorithm happy, to make sure you don't fall behind. But the truth is, if you burn out, none of that matters. You are not going to keep going if every day feels like a chore and you're dragging yourself through. That's why I started building in resets, little breaks that remind me I'm a human being first and a reseller second. Sometimes it's as simple as stepping outside and going for a walk. No podcasts, no YouTube, just silence. Or maybe it's some music I actually enjoy. It sounds dumb, but there have been days where a 15-minute walk changed everything. I come back in and suddenly I'm ready to sit down and start listing items again. My brain just needed some space. Other times it means closing the office door and pretending eBay doesn't exist for the rest of the day. I might watch a movie with my wife, go grab lunch somewhere new, do something, anything, that reminds me of why I built this business in the first place. For freedom, for flexibility. Not so I can feel guilty for not listing every second I'm awake. And yeah, sometimes I delete the eBay app off my phone, just for the weekend. I've learned that I don't need to respond to every lowball offer right away. The world won't end if I miss a message on a Saturday night. That kind of space gives me back control. Because I never want to feel like I work for eBay. I want to feel like eBay works for me. Taking a vacation is the ultimate reset. And no, it doesn't tank your store. I used to think that I had to be chained to my business 365 days a year or I would lose momentum. But that's just fear talking. When I take a week off and put my store on time away mode, the sales are still there when I get back. And I come back better than before, more motivated, more creative, and more focused. The truth is, you can't win if you're too exhausted to play. So protect your energy, build in breaks into your schedule, step away when you need to, because reselling isn't a job you clock out of. It's a lifestyle. And if you want it to last, you have to find ways to make it sustainable. That's what keeps me in the game. So no, I won't quit. Not today, not tomorrow, because I know why I'm doing this. Things may change in the future, but for now, I'll keep sourcing, I'll keep listing, I'll keep shipping, because I'll never give up the freedom I fought so hard to earn. The next time you are frustrated by a scammer, a return, coming up empty at the thrift store, remember why you are doing this. Is it for the freedom, the extra money, or is it a hobby you enjoy? The job should be fun. So if you're frustrated, take a minute, walk away, and refocus on what is important.